Hi everyone, welcome to the Thursday Facebook Live class. First of all, thanks for being patient and understanding because we had to change our days to Thursday due to some spring programming conflicts. So hopefully Thursdays at 1:30 you'll be able to tune in. But again, if you can't, you can always check them out under the saved videos under media on Facebook. Again, my name is Amanda. Today we're going to be working on kind of 2 sets of each exercise. You're going to need a band and a chair, and as always, a water bottle. So make sure you have some room around you. Make sure you have some good shoes on as well. And yeah, we're going to get started here. Okay, so let's just start very quickly. We'll briefly go over the ABCs real quick for those of you who might be new. You're going to hear me refer to ABCs quite a bit. So A is for abdominals. Let's tuck and kind of squeeze our abdominals like somebody was to come and give you a good poke. You're going to tighten up those belly muscles. B is for bum. You're going to tuck your bum and give that a squeeze as well. C is for chest. So we want to open up our chest like we're showing off a nice necklace or a bow tie. And the second C is chin. So we want to make sure our chin is tucked in. Okay, so whenever I say ABCs throughout the next kind of 45, 50 minutes, that's what I mean. Okay, but let's get started with a march. So again, we want to stand nice and tall. The chair's always here if you need it. Okay, so you can stand behind the chair. You can have one hand on the chair, always making sure that you're having that option, and you can sit as well throughout any of these exercises if you need to, and you can do everything from a seated position. Good, let's take this march a little bit wider. Let's really focus on lifting those knees, okay? So you might have to slow it down a little bit, which is fine, but let's lift those knees up. If you're tuning in live, we got ourselves an April snowstorm today. Something to remember, I guess. We all know we live in Saskatchewan. Winter's never quite over, so we shouldn't be too surprised, but we can still complain, right? Back to narrow. Again, nice and tall, shoulders back, tuck that chin, and let's really focus on lifting those legs up. Good, let's add a toe or a heel tap here. Let's tap that heel. And as we do so, I'm just gonna slightly bend my arms and do a little bit of an arm curl here. Nice and easy. Again, you can go a little bit slower if you want. Okay, or you can pick it up. So this is kind of the warm-up cardio portion. We do want that heart rate up, right? We do want to get that heart pumping a little bit. Get the blood flowing, get our body temperature up, which helps reduce the chance of injuries when you're exercising. Good for 4, 3, 2, and can we add a tap to the side? So tap. So I'm just tapping my toe out to the side. As I do so, you can add one arm, so same arm as leg. Or you can add both. If you don't need to hold on to the chair, you can lift both arms at the same time. And we're just tapping that toe, extending that leg to the side. Good for 4, 3, 2, and tap to the back. So I'm just extending my leg back, tapping my toe, still standing up in a nice tall posture. You can do same arm as leg, or you can do both arms, which is a little bit harder. You know how you're feeling. You pick the option that best suits you today. Good for 4, 3, 2, back to a march. Good. Can we focus on lifting that knee up and just giving it a little bit of a smack on the top of our thigh. So again, you might need to go a little bit slower because we really want to lift that leg up. As you do, keep that nice tall posture. Don't bend forward, right? Shoulders down and back. Lift that knee up. Again, you can always hold on to the chair, right? And really focus on lifting that leg up. Very functional, right? Climbing stairs. Still want to be able to lift those legs up as we're walking. For 4, 3, 2, and can you just kick your bum? So can you bring that heel up to your bum? Again, standing tall, try not to lean forward. Nice and tall, good. I'm just gonna give my shoulder blades a gentle squeeze. Again, maybe the legs are enough. Just focus on lifting the legs. Don't worry about the arms today. Always listening to your body. And again, having a seat whenever you need to. Nice and gentle movements. Good. For 4, 3, 2, and back to the march. Good. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of a knee bend and a lift. So what it looks like is you're just gonna have your legs a little bit wide apart. I want you to kind of bend and go to one side, bend, and shift your weight to the other. So bend and up, bend and up. As you do, you can just add a little bit of a jab. So way back in the day, I used to teach boxercise. Don't worry, we're not doing too much of that today, but I did really enjoy it. So it's a little bit of a bend and a lift, just as you extend that arm out. Just a little knee bend. We're not getting into squats or anything yet. Just a little bend and lift. And a little jab to the front. Good. For 4, 3, 2, good. Can we add a hook? So can you bring that shoulder around and just do a hook? Now be careful if you have shoulder problems, no worries. You can do a lower version of it, right? So make sure you're listening to your body. You know your limitations always. And again, my legs are still kind of doing that bend and lift, side to side. For 4, 3, 2, and last one, the uppercut. So you kind of come underneath, lift it up. Good. You can just stay square to the front of the room. For 4, 3, 2, and march it out. Good. Can we do a little bit of a roll? Call this the speed bag, right? So can you go round and around and around? For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's just roll those arms back, really going through the range of motion. Lubricating all those joints, shoulders, right? Motion is lotion, as I'm sure you've heard us say before, so we want to keep all these things lubricated, and the only way to lubricate our joints is to move them. Good. Can you do the front crawl? Good. Be careful. Maybe your range of motion doesn't allow this, so just do it within your limitations. And the back crawl. Again, be careful. Keep those feet moving if you can. Good. Your body should be feeling warm. be a little bit out of breath, which is okay. But if you're having a real tough time catching your breath, please, please slow it down. And last one. Good, let's take 2 step touches to the side. So step together, step together. Doesn't have to be big step touches, but let's just do 2 each way. Okay, again, you can be behind the chair, so have the chair in front of you. Good, and let's just swing those arms forward and back, or whatever you want to do with them. I can't see you, so that's okay. Just moving them, or like I said, just focusing on the feet. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. This time we're going to do a cross behind. We always want to kind of practice crossing our feet in a safe environment. Okay, so you can have that chair in front of you. Okay, if you need it to hold on to. We're going to take a step out, cross behind, uncross, and then step together. So let's try it this way. Step out, cross behind, out, together. So out, behind, out, together, out, behind, out. If you want to go a little bit faster, you can, or slow it down. If you're having a tough time with the cross behind, you can just stick with the step touch to the side. Good. But it's a really good idea, like I said, to get yourself in a position where maybe your legs are crossed, because if that happens and you're outside on the ice or in a really tight space and you kind of get all twisted up, we wouldn't want you just to fall. So we want your body to be able to react. So we've got to practice uncrossing your legs in order for muscle memory to kick in, and your muscles will just do it automatically, right? Which is a falls prevention thing. Okay? Good. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Good. All right, let's roll those shoulders up and down and back. Let's grab some water. Okay, that was about 14 minutes of cardio. My water's a little far away, so grab some water. Perfect. All right, we're gonna start with the back squeeze. So grab your band, okay? Grab towards the end of your band, okay? Reason being is the middle of our band gets stretched quite often, right? So if we work kind of towards the end of the band, it's a little bit harder, a little more resistance here. Okay, I want your hands close enough that your fingertips are touching. Okay, so like this. Then you can untouch the fingertips. Let's get ourselves into a good strength exercising stance. So our feet are hip width apart, knees are soft and bent, okay? We're thinking of our ABCs, so tighten those abdominals, tuck and squeeze the bum, open up through the chest, tuck the chin. Good, let's lift those elbows up so the band is actually quite close to me. It's not out here, it's in nice and close, and it's at about the height of my armpits, okay? From here, let's pull the band apart, gently feeling our shoulder blades squeezing at the back, and then release. Let's try it again. Open and release. Open. Good. Exhale as you pull apart. Now, double check. I can't see you, but chances are some of you might be lifting up those shoulders. That's just natural. So let's make sure your shoulders are down. You might have to bring your arms down a little bit lower to ensure that's the case. Let's do 2 more. Like I said, because we're going to do 2 sets of these today. And rest. Good. Let's shake that out. Good. Maybe you need to kind of roll the neck out. We are gonna do one more set of this one. Okay, so let's again get into that good stance. Okay, check in on those ABCs. Okay, elbows up. So as we get tired, your elbows might start to come down like this. So get those elbows up if you can. Keep your arms at about armpit height. Okay, and let's pull the band apart and release. So one more set of these, apart. Good. If you're tired, because we're on to our second set, okay, feel free, okay, to put your hands further apart. Okay, that'll make it a little bit easier. So the closer your hands are together, the harder this will be. Okay, let's just do two more, because I'm definitely feeling it. One, and rest. Good, shake that out. Good, okay, let's work on chest. So let's put that band behind our back. Okay, so it's like we're toweling off after a shower. It's kind of in the upper to middle part of my back. Okay, we're gonna do the chest fly, okay? But I'm gonna add a little bit of a balance component to this if you want. So option one is to keep your feet hip width apart, okay? Option two, okay, is to have one foot in front of the other. We call this a stride stance, okay? So this is the most stable, right? We can be, you adjust it to have one foot in front of the other and you're gonna get a little bit more wobbly. Your balance is gonna be challenged, which is kind of what I want, but you can decide, okay? So you can have that foot exactly like a stride, so one in front of the other, out to the side, like you're taking a step. Or option three is to have that foot right directly in front. So it's like you're on one line, okay? So you pick your option, okay? Just as long as you're challenging yourself a little bit. Arms out to the side, okay? And bring your hands together like you're clapping. Arms are straight, open them back up. Bring them together. Good. And breathe. So this is the chest fly. We're working our pectoral muscles. Good. You might really feel this in your feet too. I can feel my feet are really gripping the floor, right? Because they're helping me balance, which is good. Let's do two more. And we got one more. And now remember which foot you have in front, okay? Because we have to put the other foot in front after. Good, shake that out. Good, I always like rolling my shoulders back, up and back. That usually feels the best. Okay, maybe your neck needs a little bit of a stretch. Okay, do whatever you feel your body needs. And let's go one more round. All right, I'm gonna put my other foot in front. Again, you can do a stride stance, right? So one and kind of out to the side from the other, or you can even do directly in front, okay? All I ask is that you're challenging your balance a little bit, okay? We need to challenge it a little bit in order for it to improve, okay? Arms out below your shoulders. Make sure they're not up too high because then those shoulders sneak up. Hands together and open. Good. Breathe. So if you're finding this difficult or you have shoulder problems, you don't need to use the band. You can just go without the band and do the exercise, which is really good for your shoulder range of motion. Okay, or you can bring your arms down a little bit lower. Okay, if you find having your arms up too high is a problem, you always have options in our classes. And remember, you can sit at any time as well. Are we breathing? I haven't cued it yet. Hopefully you are. Exhale as you bring your hands together. Inhale as you open. Exhale as they come together. Inhale as they open. We got one more. And release. Good. Definitely feeling that in my arms and a bit in my shoulders. I'm gonna put my band on my chair. I'm gonna grab some water. I encourage you to do the same. Okay, we're gonna have a seat. We're gonna do one more back exercise. So we have that chair handy. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see. So whenever you need to sit, or we are sitting in the class, please make sure you're right on the edge of your seats. We don't want your back touching your backrest, the backrest, I should say. Let's grab the band and put it underneath our feet. Okay, so my heels are touching the floor. And I'm sitting up nice and tall. Now you can just kind of relax your toes and they're going to come forward a little bit, which is good because we don't want that band snapping back in our faces, which has happened to me. One of those things where you do it once and you won't do it again, right? We learned the hard way, but nice and tall. Can you lift your shoulders up and down and back for me? Keep them there. How's that chin? Right now is probably when it might be sneaking out on you, so let's tuck it in, okay? Get a good grip on the band, okay? And I want you to bend your elbows, bring your hands to your hip, elbows come back behind you, don't let them come out to the side like a chicken. We're gonna put them behind us, we're squeezing those shoulder blades again, and then release, okay? Pull back, squeeze the shoulder blades, and release, squeeze. Good, let's exhale as you pull. Good, how's the chin? Are you tucking the chin? Are you squeezing those abs? 2 more. 1 more. And release. Good, you can unhook. We're gonna do 1 more round, but let's just rotate those wrists. Again, you're getting fluid to those joints, which help them, and they'll work better, right, when we need them to. And the other way, other hand. You might hear some snap, crackle, pop. That's what I call it, in both. Great. Okay, 1 more round of this one. 2 sets today. Okay, nice and tall. Heels stay on the floor. And last time, if you noticed, the only thing moving was my arms. I wasn't moving my back, wasn't lifting my feet. Okay, the only thing moving was my arms. Okay, nice and tall, shoulders down and back. Tuck that chin. Okay, bend your elbows, bring your hands to your hips so they're touching just the front of your hip. If you bring your hands behind you too far, those shoulders are going to roll forward. So make sure you stop them in front of your hip and then release. Squeezing those shoulder blades at the back. Let's go nice and slow. When we're strength training, we want to go nice and slow. Good, let's do 3 more if you can. And remember, stop at any time. Just because I said 3 more doesn't mean you have to, right? Listen to your body. 1 more. Now, in saying that though, if when I said 3 more, you're like, I could probably do 100 more, then we need to talk about you increasing the resistance of your band. So all these bands come in different colors, and it's not to match our shirts, as you can tell, otherwise I'd have an orange one on today. It's actually different resistances. So there's like a light, very light, medium, heavy, that kind of thing. So depending on where you purchase them from, if they're not from us, the colors might be a different resistance. But I encourage you to definitely find one that challenges you. Like I said, if it's too easy, we're not getting as much benefit out of it, okay? And again, we do sell these here at the clinic in Saskatoon, okay? All right, actually we're gonna stay sitting because I wanna work on hip hinging and lifting our bum up and down off the chair, okay? So put the band on the back of the chair for me. Wiggle your bum. Let's see here, what's the best way to do this? How about that? Okay, so again, my back is away from the back of the chair. I'm sitting right on the edge. My feet are gonna be right underneath of me. So don't have them out here. They're gonna be bent and they're gonna be right underneath, okay? I'm gonna work on what we call a hip hinge, which is the start of the squat, okay? But we're just gonna get those hips moving a little bit, because as we age, our hip mobility, okay, it actually decreases. So that could be a falls risk too. If your hips don't move like they used to, or maybe you had a hip surgery, right? So we wanna really work on our hip mobility. So arms are out in front of you, okay? From here, I just want you to lean forward, keeping your back flat. Feel the weight transfer to your legs, and then sit back up. So we're not lifting or anything yet, okay? So all you're gonna do is sit up tall, arms are just below your shoulders. You're gonna lean forward, feel your weight shift to your legs, and then sit back, okay? So make sure that your feet are right underneath of you and nice and close to the chair, because this time we are gonna lift a little bit. So as you lean forward and you can feel your legs under you, see if you can kind of lift that bum up and then sit back down. It's a lot harder than standing all the way up. So I just want a little bit of a lift, just a tiny, tiny little bum lift. Let's try it. Again, lean forward, little lift, and down, okay? If this is difficult for you, please use the arms of the chair, okay? Lean forward, lift, and down, okay? Really focusing though on your legs doing the work, okay? Lean forward, lift, and down, okay? Try 2 more. Up, down, so not a big lift. It's actually harder, I think, than standing all the way up, isn't it? Forward, lift, and down. Good, let's give those legs a bit of a break before we do round 2. Okay, you can sit all the way back in your chair, still thinking about sitting up tall though, and let's just rotate those ankles. Like I said, we want to keep these joints mobile and moving, and the only way to lubricate them is to move them. So let's move them every day, wrists and ankles, especially. Good, and the other foot. Roll the ankle one way, and then the other. Good, okay, let's do one more round of kind of the hip hinge bum lift. So feet right underneath of you, sitting up nice and tall. Now notice, we don't want to round our back, right? We want to keep that back flat. So shoulders down and back, okay? Keep that chin tucked. I'm going to have my arms out. The other option for you though is hands on your thighs. You could always do it like this and use your thighs to help you too, okay? So you have arms out, hands on your thighs, or even on the chair, whatever helps, okay? Lean forward, load your legs, do a little bit of a bum lift, and then sit down. Okay, let's try it again. Lean forward, lift, and down. Maybe some of you are surprising yourself. Maybe some of you have to do a little bit of a heave-ho to get yourself up. That's okay. That's a great, great start, okay? So if you need to kind of rock forward and back a little bit to do it, no problemo. Let's try it again. Up, down. Okay, let's try 3 more. Up, down. Last one. Lean forward, up, and down. You should really feel that in here. If you are feeling it in your knees at all, okay, make sure next time maybe a bit of a wider stance and maybe turn your toes out a little bit, okay, just to kind of help the pressure on the knees. All right, let's stand all the way back up. I need some water. It's extremely warm in this room today. So I encourage you to have water now or whenever. Anytime, have some water, but definitely make sure you have some close by. Okay, we're going to do hip abduction, so a little bit more legs before we carry on with our arms. So again, holding onto the chair. Okay, let's lift the leg out to the side. Think of leading with your heel, turning that toe in like you're pigeon-toed, but still standing nice and tall, so we don't want to lean. Okay, we're still standing nice and tall, so my leg is not lifting very high, and then I'm bringing it down. Okay, so out to the side and down. Good, nice and tall. Okay, this should feel a little awkward because you're turning that toe in, turning it in, turning it forward. Good, 2 more. Can you challenge your balance a little bit? Maybe just use your fingertips. And rest, good, shake that out. Okay, you can use the other side. Okay, nice and tall, ABCs, that really helps with our balance. Let's lift the other leg out, toe in, and down, up, and down, good, nice and tall. Really think of squeezing those abdominals, that really helps with our balance too. Okay, the other thing you can do is, I'm sure you're watching the screen right now, once you get the hang of it, you could always look at something on the wall in front of you that isn't moving and practice your balance that way. And rest, good, shake that out. Okay, you're gonna feel that kind of right in the sides of your hips, into your glutes. We're gonna do 1 more set, okay? I'm just gonna leave the chair out of it for a little bit, okay? 1 more set. So these are the muscles that help us get in and out of cars. They help us get in and out of the bathtub. So these ones are really important, okay? All of our exercises we do are very functional, right? In order to perform our activities of daily living. So lifting, carrying, pushing, pulling, all those things that help us to stay independent longer. These exercises are gonna strengthen those muscles, right? To help us with all those tasks. Okay, let's do 1 more set. So nice and tall, lift the leg out to the side, heel up, toe in, and down. Can you try maybe a fingertip or 2? And down. Like I said, we want to challenge our balance every day. Okay, we want to practice our balance every day in a safe environment. So holding onto your countertop, right? Maybe standing in line at the grocery store. Okay, but practicing your balance every day for it to improve. And last one, this side. Good, shake that out. We'll do the other leg. Okay, I'll move it over. Don't know if I can completely let go today. Nice and tall. Ready? Out, toe in, and come down, nice and tall. Don't lean. Stand up. Good. Lightly grip. Maybe you can have your arm out to the side if you want to let go. I don't know. Right? Whatever is a challenge for you. Okay? A little bit of wobbling is okay. Right? That means those muscles are working, our stabilizer muscles that help. 1 more. And rest. Good. All right. Shake that out. Definitely feeling it in my legs. So let's give the legs a break. Let's grab that band again and maybe some more water here. Perfect. All right, let's grab that band. Okay, let's do arm curls. Okay, so I'm going to stand on the band. So 2 feet on the band. It's going to be a little bit harder. Okay, 1 foot's going to be a little bit easier. Okay, I'm going to put 2 feet on the band. My feet are hip width apart. Okay, my one arm is going to do a basic bicep curl. Okay, while my other arm is going to do the reverse bicep curl. So we want to work on our brain health just as much as our physical health, right? Because we want to keep our brains healthy too. So we want to try things that feel a little awkward and maybe not normal for us. Okay, so we're going to turn your palm forward. Okay, you're going to bend your elbow, bring it up to your shoulder, and come down. And then your other hand, your palm is facing the back, and then you're going to bring it up and down. So both arms are doing different things, which is a little more difficult. Good. Up, down, up. Elbows stay in, so we don't want to see any space between. Good. Let's do 2 more each arm. Good, and one more. Up, down, up, and down. Good, we gotta switch though. Okay, so turn that arm towards the back. This one turns to the front. Okay, when you're ready, elbows in like we have newspapers between our elbows and our ribs. So now we're gonna do the reverse curl on that arm, and then a regular curl on that, the other one. Good. Up and down. How are we doing? Are we breathing? Maybe. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. So exhale when you lift. Inhale as you lower. How's the ABCs? Are you squeezing the bum? Tightening those abdominals? Tucking in that chin? Always good reminders. Let's do 2 more each arm. And up and down. Good, great, okay. Shake that out. Let's do triceps, okay. Bring the band again behind your back. Okay, like we're toweling off like we did for the chest fly, okay? And from here, okay, I want you, we're gonna challenge the balance a little bit and do 2 sets of these, but I want you, if you want, to kind of pop a heel, I call it, okay? So you're just gonna kind of go up onto the toe of one foot, so you're kind of standing on a foot and a half, if that makes sense. Again, just to challenge your balance. Or you can stay here. You can even bring your feet together, or the third option is to lift a heel. Okay, so those are your 3 options. From here, your palms are going to be facing each other, and we're going to extend those arms straight out in front and then bring them back in. So out and in. Okay, out. How's the balance? Okay, definitely I'm a little bit more wobbly when I popped that heel, right? Breathe. So these are the muscles that help us push open those really heavy doors, and some doors in some buildings and facilities are quite heavy. So we want to push. Good. Breathe. And 2 more. Last one. And rest. Good. Shake that out. Okay, we want to pop the heel on the other side if you want. Okay, so again, option here, option feet together, or pop a heel. Okay, one more time, extend those arms out, straight out in front of you, just below your shoulders, and back in. Good. Again, really focusing on squeezing your abdominals, squeezing your bum to help with the balance. 3 more. 2 more. And last 1. Good. All right, shake that out. Bring that chair nice and close, okay? Or you can be right behind the chair. Okay, we're going to come up onto our toes as tall as we can, and then we're going to come back and then lift our toes. So you're gonna come up onto your toes as tall as you can, and you're gonna come back and lift. Good. Up onto your toes like you have a string pulling you straight up. As you come back, you're going to lift the toes, but without sticking out that bum. So don't stick out the bum, we wanna tuck that bum under. So up nice and tall. Rock back and lift. Up, nice and tall. Good. Can you let go a little bit? Can you lighten your grip? Can you just maybe use 2 fingertips? Good. Let's do 3 more. And rock back. 2 more. Last one. too. You might even really feel that in your calf muscles as well as your shins, okay? Very functional exercise that we can do anywhere. You could have done that even at seated, okay? Because as we age, right, we tend to take smaller steps. We tend to shuffle, okay? So the front of our muscles in here, right, our tibialis anterior muscles and stuff get weak. So if you focus on lifting your toes, okay, you're strengthening those muscles that will keep us lifting our feet as we age, which is important. Okay, have a seat, grab some water, Okay, all right. Okay, we're gonna do the seated dead bug is what it's called, okay? So this is where we're gonna lift our opposite arm and leg, but we're working our abdominal muscles and our lower abdominal muscles, okay? So option one is to lift your arm and then lift the opposite knee, but without leaning back and crunching. We wanna sit up tall the whole time, so don't lift it too high, and then set it down, and do the other side. Arm comes up, opposite knee, and down. So these are your options. The whole point though is to sit up nice and tall. If you're kind of rounded and hunched over, you're not gonna get the benefits of this in your abdominals, so sit up tall. Second option is to actually do it with a straight leg. So my arm comes up, my leg goes out, and down, out. Good. You might feel that a little bit more in your leg, which is fine. I always feel it in the back of my leg, and my hamstrings too, because I'm tight back there. Okay, so I really want you to try to forget all that and focus on what your abdominals are doing. So right now, just what are my abdominals doing? Tighten your abdominals, straighten your back, and then I can really feel it in here. Got to really focus on it though. So my abdominals are the ones moving my leg. And I'm breathing. The slower I go, the more I'm going to feel it too. Might feel it in your back. One more time each side. And rest. Good. Roll that out. Perfect. Okay, great. Grip your fingers together, squeeze your hands together and open. Squeeze and open. Squeeze. We gotta even focus on our fingers, right? Because as we age, we get arthritis maybe. So our hands and our fingers need some attention too, right? Good. Perfect. All right. Let's sit up nice and tall. Let's do a good stretch. So just drop your ear over to your shoulder. And let's focus on our breathing. Okay, we want to focus on our breathing so it relaxes all those muscles we just worked. Again, sitting up tall, sitting on the edge of your seat, feet flat on the floor, and bring that head back to center. Just pause for a second, and then slowly drop your ear to your other shoulder. Think of lifting your chin up to the roof. Slow down the breathing. Perfect. And back to center. Lift those shoulders up and down and back. Up and down and back. Good. Let's bring one arm directly across your body. Come between your shoulder and your elbow. Give that a good squeeze. So pull it in nice and close. And we'll rotate that wrist one more time. Why not? And the other way. Good. Let's lift that same arm up to the roof. Pat yourself on the back, gently lifting that elbow up. This is difficult for you. You have the option of coming around behind your neck, like you're giving yourself a neck massage, and then lifting the elbow up that way. So right now we're stretching our triceps. other arm straight across your body. Come between the shoulder and the elbow. Give it a nice squeeze. Rotate the wrist. And the other way. Good. Lift that arm up. Pat yourself on the back. Gently lifting that elbow up. Again, be careful not to lean back. We're still sitting nice and tall. Again, if that's difficult, come behind your neck. Give it a little bit of a rub. And release. Good. Lift those arms up and out to the side. Okay, slowly bring them behind your back. Just until you feel a stretch in your chest and your pecs and all the way down your arms. Okay, is that chin poking out? Can we tuck it in? Good. Flex your wrists and point your fingers to the back wall. Good. And release. Extend one leg out in front of you. So make sure you're right on the edge of your seat for this one. Your heel is down. Your toe is up, your hands are on your bent knee. We're gonna still focus on our posture here because class isn't over yet. And you're gonna lean forward from your hips, keeping your back straight. Okay, and now your gaze should be about 2 to 4 feet in front of your foot to keep that good neck and spine alignment. Once you feel the pull in the back of the leg and the hamstring, then think of bringing your toe up to your nose and really feel the stretch in the front of your shin. And breathe. Good, bring that foot in. Let's switch sides. Heel down, toe is up. Let's sit up nice and tall. Okay, hands on your bent knee. And lean forward from your hips, right? So gone are the days when we used to do this, right? We want to keep that back flat. We want to keep that good posture, tucking the chin. Okay, once you feel the pull and the hamstring, think of bringing your toe up to your nose so we can get a stretch in the front of that leg. Release. Okay, let's all turn to the side. We want to stretch our hip flexors and our quads. Okay, so turning to the side, I have one bum cheek on the chair, one is off. Okay, make sure you're holding on. Extend that leg back. Your shoulders and hips are pointed in the same direction. That back leg can be bent or straight, your preference. I want you to lean back just a smidge and then lift that same arm straight up to the roof. So you feel a stretch all the way down your side, into your ribs and your hip, and look straight ahead. And again, we're stretching the front part of that leg into the quad and the hip. Good, drop that arm down, holding on, bring your knees together. Carefully, slowly, turn to the other side. Okay, so now that leg goes back, bent or straight, shoulders and hips pointed in the same direction. Lean back a smidge and then lift that same arm straight up. Good, arm comes down, knees come together, slowly, carefully turning, okay? Let's stand up one last time. Let's end with 3 big breaths. So fill those lungs, all right? Deep breath in, and exhale down. Deep breath in, keep your head up, and exhale down. Good, one more, all the way up, and exhale down. Awesome. Hopefully you enjoyed the class today. Thanks for joining me, whether it be today live or another day. We really appreciate it. You have any questions, concerns, comments, suggestions, please let us know. You can reach out on here, or you can always reach out at the Forever Motion phone number, right? 844-4083 or 82 or 81. Okay, have a great day.